Louisiana Beer Reviews Special Edition Bell's Two-Hearted Ale Revisited. Well, over the years I have done two previous solo reviews. But I bought this 6-pack of cans this time, not bottles, at Walmart. It was $8.98 for the 6-pack. Not a bad deal these days. American IPA Pale Ale. There's the fish with the two hearts. Okay, Bell's Brewing Company, Comstock, Michigan. 7% alcohol, 60 IBUs, shelf life 6 months. Packaged at 8:12 a.m. I don't know what that first code is, but it's obviously June 30th of 2022. So we're halfway through the shelf life. Oh well. Still within the manufacturer's Best By date, and they're showing a glass like this to use, okay? I'll have a little water in it. That's the style on the website, and I happen to have one. I broke my other one. Thank you, David Garlapede, for this one. It's a nice gift. This and some other glasses. Well, that is a very thick head of bone-colored, ivory-colored foam. And the appearance is orange and semi-transparent and extremely bubbly with very tight little bubble streams and many hundreds of little bubble streams, I would imagine, around this glass. And an enormous amount of suspended sediment, powdery suspended sediment, probably from the Centennial hops that are used. It's the only hop variety used, and they use some kind of pale malt. Okay, this is the first of the 6-pack. It's breaking down into a spongy head of foam. Now some people say, oh, why are you pouring it so strong? You're pouring it in straight. Oh no, tilt the glass, you're going to get a big thick head of foam. Yeah, I know. Well, that's not a problem. Why would that be a problem? Can somebody explain that to me? They'll say it's going to make the beer flat. No, there's bubbles all throughout. It'll taste prickly on the tongue. You got to wait for the foam to go down, they'll say. No, watch, the beer's going to go right underneath the foam. Observe. Well, let's smell it first. Citrusy, resiny hops. This beer was introduced in 1997. 1 year after I started drinking beer. That's when my beer drinking, because I look at this as a project, my beer drinking and it's really not a drinking project per se. It's a beer tasting project, beer exploring project. Started in February 1996. A year later, they started this beer. But they didn't show up in Louisiana until around 2013. Resinous hops. White bread crust, very similar to a classic IPA. Like I said, spongy foam. Now observe. Notice how the liquid passes underneath the foam. Liquid being heavier than foam. All right. Medium bodied. Dry finish. Sweetness scale. It's not too sweet. 2.5 out of 5 sugar cubes at the most. Bitterness, 60 IBUs. It's pretty bitter. Now it'll probably build throughout the sipping. Usually bitterness tends for me to start low and build, but it's not profoundly bitter. 60 IBUs at 7% alcohol. I think the IBU should match the alcohol really, so it should be 70 for 7. And that's what Stone used to be. It used to be 6.9 and the IBUs were 70. I don't see Stone beers around here too much anymore. We get Stone Delicious. I saw a 6-pack of that at Walmart, which I find thoroughly not delicious, that gluten-free thing. Blah. There was a Stone variety pack, but it was all like tangerine this and that. I said, oh no, I want the original Stone IPA, guys. You say they sold out. Well, everybody sells out. Apparently, even the people that claim they're not going to sell out, they sell out. Bells. He said last year, I can't get anybody to run the company. I'm getting old and I want to rest and retire. So if no one in my family wants it, I'm going to sell it and use the money for retirement. Okay, makes sense to me. I don't know why some people take that personally, like it's some grave insult. Now, I don't recall him ever running around saying, I'll never sell brothers, I'll never sell sisters. You know, he didn't make it like a cause thing. He was just saying, I started a brewery. Here's the beer I make. You probably gonna like it. We know the Anchor sold out. Well, we're not gonna name all of them. Okay, the brands. Funny thing is, after Anchor sold out, we hardly ever see their beers around here anymore. But I think that was already happening. It was already in decline before that. Anyway. Nice lacing around. Bitterness, so back to that. Say 3.5 out of 5 hop cones. It's probably more like 4. But I'm going to keep, it's hard to say, it's confusing. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 4, but it's probably a low ball in it. But no lower than 3.5 out of 4 hop cones. No way. I'm trying to think. Some white bread crust. You get that with true IPAs. When it tastes like fruit salad or coagulated, and they have the mouthfeel of coagulated cereal powder in the milk, and tastes like lupulin powder and all that. That's not really a good representation of an India Pale Ale, in my opinion. But the true, what I would call the true IPAs, I don't mean in a technical sense, because there's no, I can't say in the legal sense, because in the United States that's not a legal term, India Pale Ale. Ale is a legal term. It'll be either be an ale or a lager, okay, or you could just say beer, or malt beverage, malt liquor, flavored malt beverage. Those are legal terms. Okay. Those classic ones have the white bread crust. Finish is sticky and dry. Okay, the Double Two Hearted, which I bought at Total Wine and More when it was on the market for the little while it was there. Oh yeah, that was dynamite. Super thick, super heavy, super sticky, super resinousy, super high alcohol, super intense. But it was a little too much. It's like, well, you could drink that as an occasional thing for an interesting experience. But for a few times a week drinker, no, I don't think so. Here's one you could drink 3-4 times a week. Let's say 3 times a week. You wouldn't get tired of it. I don't see that. Can I get this in a pint can? I think maybe. Can I get it in the 12-ounce can? Obviously, at Walmart. Or Matherns probably has them. Bottles? Yeah, maybe. Not so common anymore. All the companies have gone to the cheaper option, which is cans. Now there's a can shortage because everybody's doing cans. And it's lighter. Kind of takes up more space in the refrigerator though, unless you stack them. I don't think it looks nice stacked, but the bottles are skinny. But anyway, enough of all of that. Beer Advocate, I don't remember rate beer. They're kind of strange, but Beer Advocate has 95. They're calling that world class. I would call that most excellent. Untapped's giving it a 79, which would be around an 88, 89 on Beer Advocate. I think it is a 95, which I call most excellent, not world class, but we have a different scale. Beer Advocate myself. Beer Advocate obviously being the much more important entity, but still, if I'm giving something a 95, it's dynamite. And for $8.98 a 6-pack, what are we talking about? Of course, it's great. You got to buy it. Now, people might say, what's better, Lagunitas IPA, Goose Island IPA? This one here, I guess I would have to do blind taste tests. I'm reluctant to do blind taste tests with beer, and I'm going to tell you why. I only drink a few beers every day. Like on a day off of work, I'll drink 4. On a day at work, I'll come home and drink 2. So I'll drink 22. If I'm going wild, 24 a week. You say, a case a week? Wow, that's really not too impressive. Okay, and I'm talking about 12-ounce servings. Yeah, well, I'm not really a party. I never was. People ask me, back in college, well, what did you drink when y'all went wild? I said, I didn't really go wild. We played Risk, and I read books about history, and I drank soft drinks. And watched MTV. Started going downhill in '88 when they came on with that. When they started showing other things besides music. But anyway, that's another story. They just realized, people really don't like sitting around looking at music videos. It's not that entertaining. Oh, nice fermented smell, fermented grains. So when I do a blind taste test, I got these 2 big beers. 12 ounces. But and I just don't want to drink all that. If they would serve them in like little airplane servings, like you get with liquor, 50 milliliters, that would be better for me. And so people might retort and say, oh, wait, you do all the liquor taste challenges, rum this, tequila that, whiskey that. Yeah, but there's the whole point. They're I'm doing a taste challenge with this much. So that's the reason. I don't really know. You say, end it now and tell us. Goose Island IPA, Bell's, the doggone Torpedo Extra IPA, and Lagunitas IPA, all the old 90s classics. You tell me now, which one do you prefer? I prefer them all. Okay. Well, Torpedo Extra is not from the 90s. It's from later on, but I guess I'll go with Torpedo as the best of those. But I don't know. I prefer them all. All right, so Laissez Le Bon Temps Roulé, a most excellent beer, beer, India Pale Ale beer, and from Michigan beer. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all go to I couldn't remember that, Comstock, Michigan, and tour the Bell's Brewery.